Hello and welcome to An Amazing Podcast. This is DM Modi and we are back from our long hiatus. And speaking of long wait times and big returns, we're talking about Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War. What do you think about it? I'm a big Bleach fan, and I remember the year it was announced. I was at the GameStop. I was getting a copy of Jump Force, and I was like talking to the front desk employee, telling him about yeah, I'm just looking forward to that next season of Bleach. He laughed in my face, told me to give up on that dream. That Sunday, the announcement dropped. I ran over to that GameStop and just went, "Mother trucker, I was right.
Wait,
It's back."
how did the GameStop agent know beforehand that it was going to happen? Is he like an undercover Shonen Jump worker or something?
Oh no, he was saying it wasn't coming back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. How did he know it wasn't coming back?
It was Bleach. It was 5 years, 10 years since it ended. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't right when it happened.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I misheard you then.
But yeah,
right.
I'm really hyped for it. There's a lot of stuff I love, some things I don't like. And I've heard from a lot of manga readers that this is a very rough arc, and it has a rough ending, but I don't really care. Manga readers told me Demon Slayer was a good show, and I have thoughts on that, so ready to go on that journey and see how I feel myself.
Well, even if it is, even if it does turn out to be a quote unquote bad ending by most people's standards in the manga, what we do know about the anime is that Kubo's working on it himself with them, and they've said that they fix all the wrinkles in the end because they didn't have to rush like the manga did. So if the badness of the ending has anything to do with the pacing and rushing, then that probably won't be a problem in the anime. But if it's something else, then I guess we'll see.
Plus, I heard it's going to be a 50 episode run, and I hope that's true because that would be really great.
Yeah, and if it's 50 episodes of well-paced episodes, that's even better. 50 episodes of them covering 3 or 4 chapters per episode, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that's honestly the peak of what you want. Just imagine when you think about it, has any other shonen anime done that where their last arc gets to be a huge beautiful run of beautifully animated all right up to the end with as much hype as possible because you literally kept the audience waiting 10 years. You know, what if Kubo masterminded all of this?
You see,
he's a genius.
If they were really smart, at the end of this run, they announced Burn the Witch as a full-time show or series that's taking place in the universe. That would be a really gangster move.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm really excited for it's so crazy how if you had asked me 3 years ago, I thought Bleach was dead and gone. I thought we would never hear about Bleach again. I thought it was history. Mm-hmm. And now there's so much stuff, and it looks like there's so much that's going to be happening that's going to be covering so many years from now. It feels like it's almost just the start, you know?
Yeah.
And it's also actually exciting. It's not just it doesn't feel it probably is a cash grab at the end of the day, but it doesn't feel like one. So good job to them for that.
It feels like a cash grab that the artists gave their lives for.
Yeah, exactly.
But so getting into that, I will say my first impressions for the first 3 episodes are I really enjoyed them, but I did have some issues. So for starters, I think the pacing for the first episode was way too rushed. It felt like a lot of stuff happened, and a lot of the big moments in that, it felt like it had enough climax moments for 3 separate episodes. Like, I would have really enjoyed, like, a slice of life. This is going to sound weird, but if this feels like it was paced pitch perfect with how the manga was, this feeling like 4 chapters pushed together. And I kind of feel like I would have liked a little bit of filler of us just seeing, like, the characters living their lives, just being all normal and chill and everything, just to help us get reaccustomed or reintroduce these characters in the status quo. Because it does feel like... This feels like if you were... Like, and this is going to sound weird, but I think if you were just binging Bleach from start to finish, and you just finished, like, the first run of the anime the day before or the week before and started watching this, it would have been fine. But as someone who hasn't seen Bleach in, like, 10 years or so, this does feel a wee bit whiplashy. And I do think, and it just jumps between climax, where, oh no, there's a new Arrancar! Oh no, Captain Old Guy's attendant is dead! Oh no, this new organization is declaring war! Oh no, there's a new bad guy who has the world's dumbest mustache! It felt like it was very breakneck, but I do think the pacing after that eases up to a much more comfortable degree.
Yeah, I think for the first episode, I didn't even realize how rushed it was until you explained it now. Or not, I knew it was rushed, but I didn't, like, consciously realize it. But yeah, I think maybe what happened is they probably wanted to fit that fight at the end. Or I don't know if it was at the end, but you know that fight that they had at the rooftop?
Yep.
On the rooftop with those 4? Was that, or was that in the middle of the episode? I don't remember, but, like, I feel like probably what they were thinking was we want to have a big fight, so they probably, put in a bunch of stuff.
Also, when number 1 started playing, when Ichigo entered, oh my god. I saw that scene, and I was just thinking to myself, play the song. Come on. You know what we're waiting for.
And Ishida, I really liked Ishida's part of the fight / his entrance, because I don't know if this was a thing in the original anime, but, like, how he kind of, like, does this ice skating thing with his spiritual energy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool, and it makes me want to say Ishida's my favorite.
Yes.
Even though Ichigo's always been my favorite. I don't know.
Damn right.
But yeah, what did you think about the openings and the endings?
Bleach and the opening and endings were both bangers. I really enjoyed the first opening. Really enjoyed the animation. I always love openings that just show, like, put the characters on display. I always have a soft spot for that. And I really liked its use of red, blacks, and whites too, which was really, really nice for me.
Yeah, I thought the opening, both opening and ending visually were really good, and they felt like just old Bleach.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know how they do it. Like, I don't know if they have the same person doing all of them, but, like, they managed to, like, just keep this feel of what Bleach is, and it's really cool. I didn't like the song as much as in the opening. That honestly kind of felt like it would be more of a Naruto song.
Yeah.
That's just, like, my feeling on it. But yeah, anyway, really good openings and endings.
I've always thought, like, Bleach was of the big 3. I always thought, like, Bleach was just a mature, cool kid just chilling in the, like, side of the cafeteria, just doing his own thing, jiving to his own beat. And I still get that feeling all these years later with all the new shows we have.
Yeah, Bleach, I don't think anything in terms of edginess, I don't think I don't think anything can beat Bleach, at least, like, shonen wise.
Yeah. I don't even think it's edge. I think it's just, like, for lack of a better term, drip. Like, there's a nice coolness to Bleach that is just so charming to me. I also will say that the use of CG in this was quite impressive. I wouldn't say it's God tier or anything, but I will give credit where credit is due and say that it was well implemented.
There was one moment in the first episode when they were fighting like a whole bunch of hollows, and like the camera did like this pan thing and showed them surrounded by the hollows. Did it kind of like remind you of like Attack on Titan?
Kind of.
I was thinking like, I wonder if the hollows were actually that big in the manga, and or like is it actually trying to do like are they like actually trying to do an homage to Attack on Titan or something like that? Because it felt a lot like an Attack on Titan type scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the CG was really good. Yeah.
Also, favorite quote. One of my favorite quotes from the episodes. I don't know who you are, but get out of my bed.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Everyone... Like, I saw that. I heard that, and I was like, "Yo, Ichigo's a G."
And it's just like
no male shonen protagonist has ever had the balls just to go out and say that out loud.
And it's also just like, yeah, because that's just what any normal person would be thinking. Like, why are your crusty shoes on my bed? Like, why can't you enter through the door like a normal person, even if you want to attack me? Yeah, are there any characters that you're excited for like this arc that's starting up? Because like for me, I'm really interested in what's gonna happen with Ishida.
Same. Like I think Ishida is dead. I really hope they give. I feel like I would have liked it if each of the main characters kind of had their own little arc. Like you had the Soul Reaper arc for like Ichigo. You had you kind of had the Fullbringer stuff with Uryu and with Orihime and Chad, but they weren't like. It didn't feel like they were that huge a part of it. I do hope like with them like going the Quincy angle, you do get a lot more stuff with Uryu because that feels like this feels like it should be his arc.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it has to be because it's Quincy's. Like, he has to be involved somehow. I don't think he's gonna stay outside of. Wait, actually, before we continue, have you read past this in the manga?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay, all right. So we both don't know. Okay, so yeah, I was just gonna say like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna stay outside of Hueco Mundo. I think he's gonna go to Hueco Mundo.
Yeah,
and honestly, sorry, I just want to say this too. It's weird because it seems kind of obvious to me what's going to happen, which is that he's just going to end up taking Ichigo's side. But I feel like that's just so obvious that that's not going to happen. But I can't imagine anything else happening. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
So, I remember I was watching a video by Totally Not Mark, and he's doing a Bleach retrospective, and he kind of makes the point that the Soul Society arc was about the main characters going off to rescue a female character taken by the enemy organization to their home turf. How the Arrancar arc was about the main characters going to rescue a female main character who was, like, kidnapped and taken to the main character's, like, base of operations. I feel like how in this one the main characters are going to the enemy's base of operations to rescue another one of the female characters. And then while they're in that area, the main villain organization goes and attacks a random area while that they're no longer a bit like free to assist in. But I feel like Uryu is going to have a similar focus as Orihime and Rukia in those prior arcs. I definitely feel like this is going to be a arc where he does kind of serve as a linchpin too, and I hope my prediction is correct about that. Also, I was really pleasantly surprised in how interesting and cool a lot of the Quincy's are. Like, on paper, again, like, I have to give Kubo so much credit because he is really good with costume character design. Like, I know. Literally, Arrancars and the Quincy's have very similar like color themes, but they both feel so different and like as they both feel like different organizations. Hell, they're both even being led by a soft-spoken, overbearing like leader who has, again, dressed all in white.
Yeah, I
Also,
guess.
I just want to say this one last thing. A male's beard does not grow like that. That takes a lot of
I wonder.
cutting and a
Yeah,
lot of styling to do that. Meaning, he picked that style and told someone to continually cut his hair in that style. Like, I'm sorry,
better yet,
but
he does it himself. He does it himself every day.
like, I'm sorry, like, it's hard to go from like Aizen to this guy, especially since I spent so long fighting him. Like, with Aizen, like, if I'm about to be killed by him, I'm like in awe, I'm in terror. With this guy, I'm just like, bro, just kill me quick, because I can't take that mustache seriously.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the mustache though. I kind of want to try. I want to try to see if I can make the same thing happen.
Oh my god, I kind of want to do the same thing myself. What the hell? I will say they did give him a very good intro scene for the first, I think, was it the first or second episode?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I don't remember which episode it was, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of all these intro scenes were really good. I really like that scene when I forgot his name, but the second in command under Captain Yamato, like the leader of all the 13 squads, when he comes in and like he's dying, because like this is a character that we really haven't even interacted with much throughout the series at all, but like his death still felt like, I don't know, kind of heavy, and this is like done by enemies that we don't know anything about, and it's done to like someone on our side, I guess, that we don't really care about, but it still felt heavy. So it was cool the way they did that.
I did have a, oh no, that guy's dead. I'm a little nervous because Bleach has a lot of characters. And in the third episode, they already Yamcha'd off one of them. And granted, I don't remember a lot of the characters' names in the Soul Society, but I still kind of don't want them just to get like Game of Thrones off. And this is something I wanted to mention, ask you. So, Bleach has a lot of characters, and while like there are like shows like Naruto or One Piece that have like huge casts, it feels like with Bleach, you can tell the characters Kubo had a lot of fun designing and put a lot of time in compared to the others. Because like if you look at some of the side characters, like, oh my god, the bald dude can summon this giant 3-pronged Giga Buster Axe Bankai, and this other dude can like curve his sword slightly. Or like, oh man, Toshiro just turned into a giant ice dragon armored guy, and this guy has 2 swords. Whereas like if you compare it to something like with Naruto, where all the characters have like some sort of neat gimmick, it does feel like in Bleach the gimmicks are very inconsistent in the cool spectrum for me.
So you mean like some? Okay, I see. So some of them are just really cool, and others. But I feel like, yeah, I guess you're right. I was going to pretty much the first thing that I think of when you say that is One Piece, because One Piece to me is like the epitome of that, because it's like it can be anything. So to me, it makes me think. I know for like One Piece, it's like Oda does it on purpose because he wants it to have like that tone of like not everything being all cool. Do you think maybe Kubo's the same? Like maybe he also doesn't want everything to look cool, because I know he likes edginess and he's the best at it. He's the king of it. But I also feel like he also does have like a gag aspect to him, you know?
I think it's the former. I think Kubo made the mistake of putting too many characters and didn't have like the time and energy to fully flesh all of them out. Like when you look at Naruto, like every character has like a very equally cool level of gimmick to them. But with Bleach, it feels like, I feel like you could cut out a large portion of the cast and you wouldn't really miss out on anything really interesting. Like, I remember all of the characters' gimmicks from Naruto, like, all of their little, like, fancy tricks and everything. But it's
Yeah,
like...
you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the characters in Naruto, like, each of them, they do leave a bit of an impact. But with some of the characters in Bleach, you're just like, oh yeah, that guy's there. Oh man, he did a thing.
Yeah, that is true. I agree with you.
I do think the villains are a little less... Again, I don't want to, like, throw any shade or say, like, he's bad character design. I do think with what Kubo's working with and the scale he's doing it is very impressive. But I do think, like, you do feel like... You can feel when he's getting tired when he's, like, writing characters and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine when you're doing such large casts. I like the way, though, I guess you could say it's, like, as a result of just the weekly schedule and all that, having to figure out ways to do things faster.
Yeah.
He's been pretty creative, I guess, in at least making, like, the characters that all wear the same uniform at least look different from each other.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was pretty cool. Like when you think about all the Shinigami who just they all have to wear the same thing, but yeah.
Also, I'm trying to figure out how long it's been since this moment and the end of the Arrancar arc, because I feel bad for Hueco Mundo.
Yeah.
Like, they have a new ruler for 3 days and they get conquered by some other, like, powerful entity. Like, because, like, these people are living, let's just say it, in a shithole area. It looks bad. It's always dark. Literally, I feel like the first thing Aizen did when he got there was just to build an entire fortress just for some goddamn sunlight. And then, like, they finally get this dude out. They finally get their government back in order, and then all of a sudden these these German ass motherfuckers dive in and go even harder than Aizen did.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, that's true. They really are actually worse than Aizen. They're crazy, especially that one guy. What was his name? OP or something?
I think so.
The dude. Yeah. By the way, what did you think about his I'm really interested to see all the different variations of the Quincy weapons
Bankai.
because I thought it was just arrows, but now it looks like they can do a whole lot of stuff. And I also kind of don't get why, like, they're playing up this thing of it looking creepy, because to me it doesn't look much different from what Ishida does himself.
Yeah. Honestly, I really like it. Like, again, Kubo, A+ in the character design department. Like, my only issue is it has this issue where anime throws a lot of non-English, really long words at you, and I lose track of that really easily. Like, Demon Slayer always drove me crazy because, like, oh man, it's the Hashira, and they're about to fight the 12 Kizuki, and he's the 6th upper lower moon of the 12 Kizuki elite. And it gets to the point where I'm just like, what the hell are you saying, dude? Can I get some subtitles for the subtitles? And I was feeling that a little bit with this, especially since I'm not used to German. Because, like, he had, what was it, like, the Quincy... Qui Li Quan Chol Ti Ba Bla Ergen von Sturgen thing. And then he's like, and this is the Quincy Deta no Whirly Wamba Damba transformation thing. I'm sorry, I can't remember German. And it's like, I really appreciate, like, quick, concise naming conventions in anime. Like, going back to OG Bleach, like, Bankai, Arrancar, Resurrection, Shikai. Like, that works. But when...
I think, yeah.
But it always drives me crazy when, like, anime throws so many, like, world-specific terms. I hate it when, like, I watch a show and I need to have a dictionary for everything. Because you can do it, like... I'm not saying anime shouldn't do it, because, like, Bankai works, Shikai works, but there are some times where I kind of wish it was just like, oh no, he's using a temp body, or he's a spirit soul or something like that. But that's just my little like nitpick of it.
Yeah, like for me, I generally don't even I don't even like naming conventions usually. Like I would rather not have them, but I can understand why they make a lot of shows better.
Mm-hmm.
But that's I feel like that's only if they're short and you're actually able to remember them, because yeah, it makes it a lot more fun if you can remember the attacks and stuff like that, especially
Yeah.
kids and all that's whatever. But yeah, if you're gonna start making them like, sentences that people have to sit down and memorize, then
Mm-hmm.
kind of defeats the point, I think.
I watched the third episode literally like 30 minutes ago, and I still can't remember I forgot the name that fast.
Yeah, like
But again,
I mean I stopped trying to remember names of stuff so long ago, like, because it also gets to the point where once you watch a certain amount of shows, it's like you just, yeah, it just gets to so many names.
yeah.
Titles of attacks and stuff like that. It's like so much.
But again, I really loved the design of this like villain of the arcs transformations, and I really hope they go the same like 2-stage approach or 3-stage approach with the other characters, because I'm pretty hyped for that. Like I've always been a huge fan of like transformations in anime, which is part of the reason why I'm so picky towards Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. But if they're going to match this same level of quality going forward, I am so hyped.
Wait, so have we seen for OP? Am I pronouncing that right?
I'll say yes, but comments tell him if he's saying this right, please.
Yeah. So for him, is it what stage are we at? Have we seen the second stage now, or is that the third stage?
I would say this is the third. So the first stage is when he's just wielding his weapon. The second stage is when he has the little like angel form, and the final stage, third stage, is him in his like giant monster form.
Oh, okay, I see. All right. And what do you think? What do you think is going to happen with Ichigo in this arc in terms of power ups and stuff?
So I do know he gets like a new form, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I feel like I feel like in terms of character growth, I think Ishida is going to be going through the main arc. And I feel like Ichigo is kind of going to have his like. I feel like Ichigo is going to have a flat character arc where he doesn't change, but he inspires change in other characters.
All right. Yeah, I'm interested to see what because I feel like in every arc there's some new angle, I guess, that Kubo takes when Ichigo powers up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it's gonna look like for this one. I wonder. I don't know how I feel. I don't know if this arc is mostly gonna take place in Hueco Mundo, but if it is, I don't know if I like that, because I don't know. I kind of want different locations for different arcs.
I agree. Like, I do like how they're spending more time outside of, like, in the more darker, like, base level Hueco Mundo. But it does feel like it has a Dragon Ball Z Namek kind of vibe, where it feels like every single place in this entire world looks exactly the freaking same. And I hope they don't go that route. And the one thing... So, for me, for these 3 episodes... I think the pros are definitely the characters, the action, the animation, art style, and art direction. And I think the pacing for the second 2 episodes is really good. My biggest issue with this so far is the world building. And I feel like it will get more explanation and it'll clean it up a little bit. But my whole issue is, if something just doesn't make any sense and the characters don't, like, I always think it's a bad thing where something in terms of world building doesn't make sense and the characters don't acknowledge that it doesn't make any sense. Cause like when they were going over like the whole Quincy genocide thing, they were mentioning how, oh yeah, if we wiped out all the hollows, the like balance of souls will cause both worlds to be destroyed. And literally, the first thing that was coming to my mind is like, why were the Quincy's trying to destroy the world? Like,
Yeah.
if both worlds get destroyed, aren't they kind of screwed over? Like, I could see them wanting to get rid of hollows just because they're evil monsters that are trying to kill everyone. But, wiping out two planes of existence is kind of a bad move. And if this whole thing is about, like, revenge for the Soul Society committing genocide, then it's like, I'm kind of not as invested because they were trying to basically double suicide everything. And the second thing that kind of, like, drove me crazy was, I don't know if they explained this earlier, but where does Waco Mundo fit in all of this? If, like, hollows are, like, naturally supposed to be in the land of the living, how do they go to, like, Waco Mundo? What brings them to Waco Mundo? If they're, like, nothing but hollows, if all the hollows just go into Waco Mundo, does that mean the Soul Society and the land of the living get destroyed? Is Waco Mundo a part of the land of the living? Is it like a 3-tiered world? Do the Quincy's have their own world? Is it like
Thank you.
Is it like in whatchamacallit, Burn the Witch? Is it like a continental national thing? Like, is the Soul Society just like Japanese heaven? Is Burn the Witch English heaven? Are the Quincy's from like German heaven? Like, there are a lot of things that like I feel like they will explain, but the fact that they don't explain it right now drives me crazy.
Thanks for bringing up specifically that thing about the hollows going to Hueco Mundo, because that was confusing for me too, and I thought that was just me not knowing basic Bleach world building stuff that they probably explained many hundreds of episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So now knowing that it's not just me and it's like something that needs to be explained, that makes me feel a little better, I guess.
Yeah,
but I don't think that though is going to be explained for some reason. I have a feeling that specific thing. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get explained. I think probably the Quincy's motives, of course, the Quincy's motives for wanting to do this are going to get explained. And it probably has some relation with the whole thing with Captain Yamato and how he didn't kill His Majesty. I guess that's what they're calling him, the leader of the Quincy's 1,000 years ago. It kind of this kind of feels like the beginnings of the Sarutobi Orochimaru storyline in Naruto.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if it's gonna play out the same way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to this arc.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I would honestly rather have another arc in Soul Society, I think, because Soul Society, at least there are other places you can go to in Soul Society besides just that main city place, right? I guess that's it. That's all I have to say, I think.
So, question. Would you rather be a Quincy, a Rancor, or a Soul Reaper?
I would rather be probably a Soul Reaper, I guess. If I wouldn't want to be any of them, but if I had to choose, I guess I'd be a Soul Reaper. Yeah.
Or Soul Reaper or Fullbringer.
I would definitely choose Fullbringer. For sure I would choose Fullbringer. Oh man, that I really wish. I know it couldn't have happened, but I really wish he had gone more in that direction, in the Fullbringer direction after that arc. To me, that was really good, but people would not have liked that, I'm sure. So,
yo, I would love like a Dragon Ball Xenoverse kind of game with Bleach, where you can just build your own like character from those like 4 classes. Personally,
that would be so cool.
So for me, it's a tie between a Roncar's and Quincy's so far. Like, I like Arankar's transformations more, but I like the whole flashiness of the Quincy's.
For me, I think my answer before was just based on which one I like the most. But if I'm talking about in terms of how they look, I would definitely say Arankars are 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would say Shinigami, and then my issue with Quincy's is that their robes kind of look like dresses, and I just don't like that. So yeah, they're last actually. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, those are my
Yeah.
rankings.
Yeah, for me, it's okay. This is going to be me going really hard, but I think the thing that trips me up with Aron cars is I don't like how they can only have like a max of 2 transformations. It feels like Quincy's have more potential to them, so I'll probably say, you know what, I'm going to put Quincy's at number 1, Aron cars at number 2, Soul Reapers number 3, and Fullbringers at number 4.
All right, Quincy's are getting rated.
Yes. How do you feel about Ichigo's new like costume design?
I don't really like it actually. I don't. Well, it's not that I don't like it.
Mm.
It looks good. It looks really good, but it's just it's not what I want. Pretty much, that's all I can say. Like, I don't like the thick things on his neck. Like, I don't like bulkiness in designs.
Yeah.
Like, in general, as a thing. Like, it's not like I hate it, but like in general, I would prefer less of it, especially if the character's wearing something like a Shinigami suit.
Mm.
It kind of just doesn't feel right. But yeah, I don't know.
Do you think is it because like do you feel like the costume is like overly designed at this point?
No, I just don't like the design of it on him, I guess. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. For me, I kind of like it. Like, I always like a little bit of extra. Like, for me, there's a good gray zone. I don't like super thin characters, but I don't like super bulky ones. And
I feel like
okay.
sorry, okay, I get it now. What it is that it feels like too much for Ichigo. Like, I feel like he would have something simpler than that. I think that's all I'm trying to say. I feel like he would have something simpler than that.
Okay, for me, I like the new Bankai form a lot, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Shikai form. I will say I like it because it separates him out from like the other Soul Reapers better, but I don't know, I'm not feeling as much as I would have as I usually would.
I mean, his old one was just a big ass knife, though. I feel like this is definitely an upgrade.
Yeah. It's a bigger ass knife.
With like sleeker edges and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's gonna be a new something above a Bankai introduced in this arc?
I really hope they acknowledge his like visored form. Because I feel like that design with that mask would look really nice. And they never addressed that. They never addressed that in the Fullbringer arc. And that always drove me crazy because, like, did he lose the hollow powers when he went all final Getsuga? Is that still inside of him? Did he get, like, a fresh reset or anything? I don't know. I think that's just another thing I hope they sort of address going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, same. All right. Anything else you wanted to say about the episode?
Nope. I think I'm good. How would you rate them?
One thing I wanted to say was just about the art in general. Character art was really good, of course.
Oh yeah.
But specifically the background art and the lighting, it was
top tier.
Really nice. Especially like the thing is, Bleach in the manga, it has such simple backgrounds. Mm-hmm. So making it look nice in the anime is going to rely a lot on the lighting, and they did a really good job of that. It looks really good. It's very atmospheric.
I think this had some of the best lighting in anime I've seen this year. Definitely of the big three, I think this has the strongest art direction.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Mm-hmm.
Not for the this year thing though, because I've seen like 1.5 anime this year. So, but yeah, so that's been our review. How would you rate the first 3 episodes?
Collectively, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. My only issues were the world building. Also, the one dude in episode 3 with the fucking glasses. I'm sorry. I have PTSD.
Oh, OP. Yeah.
I am so expecting him, like, in, like, 2 episodes from now, just to, like, take his glasses off, slick his hair back. It's like, ha ha ha! It was me, Eisen, this entire time! The entire previous 275 episodes was just part of my illusion! It was all part of my plan. Seriously?
Yeah, I've seen people theorize that exact thing that you're saying.
It was all part of my plan to draw out the Quincy's. Bwah, ha ha ha.
Yeah, that'll be the plot twist.
Yes.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Eisen does come back. It would just be like the peak way to end this series. Eisen being the secret villain 3 times in a row. Like, that would be the best way to end Bleach.
Like, seriously, like, after all the havoc this man has caused, how is this, like, 4-eyed dude even allowed to, like, just roam around? I feel like the first thing people would say to them, like, okay, you're ditching that those freaking glasses and you're getting a goddamn haircut.
Alright, so that has been our review of the first 3 episodes of Bleach. Come back 2 weeks from now for our review of the next 2 episodes, 4 and 5. Next week we'll be reviewing the first 3 or 4 episodes of Chainsaw Man. We'll decide on that.
Yep, it's a very niche, under the radar show, so I hope you guys will tune in to check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna be showing you something really cool that you can go and tell your friends about. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a good week. Bye.
Yep. Stay safe, stay happy, and keep up the awesome. See you guys soon.